गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर श्री राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौरनिताय 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 श्री श्री गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रील प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत्सत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत महाराज स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत्सत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य शिला हरदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई जमुना माई की सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from 10th canto, chapter 52. So we have 5 verses today to cover. 19 to 23. This chapter is entitled Rukmini's Message to Krishna. So what we'll do is first we'll recite 23rd verse and then we'll go through each of these verses. So 10, 52, 23. 23. 23. Sopashrutya mukundasya रूपवीर्य गुणश्रियः गृहागतैर्गीयमाना तं मेने सदृशं पतिम् सोपश्रुत्य मुकुन्दस्य रूपवीर्य गुणश्रियः गृहागतैर्गीयमाना तं मेने सदृशं पतिम् सोपश्रुत्य मुकुन्दस्य रूपवीर्यगुणश्रियः गृहागतैर्गीयमाना तं मेने सदृशं पतिम् मुकुन्दस्य रूपवीर्यगुणश्रियः गृहागतैर्गीयमाना तं मेने सदृशं पतिम् सोपश्रुत्य मुकुन्दस्य रूपवीर्यगुणश्रियः गृहागतैर्गीयमाना तं मेने सदृशं पतिम् सोपश्रुत्य मुकुन्दस्य रूपवीर्यगुणश्रियः गृहागतैर्गीयमाना तम्मेने सदृशं पतिं माताजी मुकुन्दस्य रूपवीर्यगुणश्रिया यागतैर्वीयमाना तम्मेने सदृशं माताजी स्वोपश्रुत्य मुकुन्दस्य रूपवीर्यगुणश्रियः गृहागतैर्गीयमाना तम्मेने सदृशं पतिं स्वोपश्रुत्य मुकुन्दस्य रूपवीर्यगुणश्रियः गृहागतैर्गीयमाना तम्मेने सदृशं पतिं. Word to word meaning: sa, she, upashrutya, hearing, mukundasya, Krishna's, rupa, about the beauty, virya, prowess, guna, character, shriyaha, and opulences, griha, to her family's residence, agatai, by those who came, giyamana, being sung, tam, him, mene, she thought, sadrisham, suitable, patim, husband. Translation: hearing of the beauty, prowess, transcendental character and opulence of Mukunda from the visitors to the palace who sang his praises, Rukmini decided that he would be the perfect husband for her. Purport: the word Sadrisham indicates that Rukmini and Śrī Kṛṣṇa had similar qualities and thus were naturally attracted to each other. King Bhishmak was a pious man and therefore many spiritually advanced persons must have visited his palace. These saintly persons undoubtedly preached openly about the glories of Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. हे श्री सनातन प्रभो करुणाम्बराशे, हे रूप दुर्गत जनैक दयावलोक, हे भट्ट युग्म सुमते रघुनाथ दास, श्री जीव में कुरुत मंद मतेर्दयांतरात्, यत्कीर्तनं यत्स्मरणं यदीक्षणं यद्वन्दनं यश्रवणं यदर्हणं लोकस्य सद्यो विधुनोति कल्मषं तस्मै सुभद्राश्रवसे नमो नमः. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. यो अन्तःप्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना. अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं. हृदयस्य प्रेरणया प्रवर्तितोऽहं वराकरूपोऽपि तस्य हरे पदकमलं वन्दे श्रीचैतन्यदेवस्य. Hare Krishna. So, Krishna's marriage stories have started. So this episode begins with Śukadeva Gosvāmī describing Rukmini Mangalam in just 2 shlokas. Bhagavan api Govinda upaye me kurudvaha vaidarbhim bhishmakasutam kanyām. What is that? Vaidarbhim bhishmakasutam Shriyo matram swayamvare. Yeah. So the first line says Bhagavan api Govinda upaye me kurudvaha. Api, even the Bhagavan, he also got married. He begins this pastime by saying like this, even Bhagavan also got married. Api word is very significant. Bhagavan api. The similar word is used in the beginning of Ras Leela also. There also, Bhagavan api taratri shardot fullo mallika vikshrantum manaschakte yogamayam upāharat. That even the Lord desired to do Raman with the gopis. This api word is very significant. Api comes from the context also. Like before this, the marriage of Balram ji is described. So just like Balram ji got married, Krishna also got married. This is one meaning. But Balram ji got married only once. And Krishna got married in a grand way, 16,108 wives. So api means for that also. But most important thing, api describes that how Lord Kṛṣṇa is separate from other people in this world. Just like we see people in this world also get married. But there is a difference, there is a gulf of difference. People in this world get married because sometimes they feel some loneliness in their life. They feel that something is missing in my life. And my heart is very hard, and if a woman comes in my life, then my life will become very wonderful, heavenly, jolly, and so on and so forth. And then some children will be there, and when I hear the broken words of the children, then I will feel even more happiness. This is one reason. Another reason is that people in youth age may have some lot of desires, so they get married. But Krishna is not like that. He is Atmaram, Aptakam. Atmaram means he is self-satisfied. Okay. So Atmaram means he is self-satisfied, and Aptakam means all his desires are already satisfied. He is satisfied within himself and all his desires are always fulfilled, Aptakam. So the question arises, why does he get married? So Krishna marries for the pleasure of his devotees. There are different devotees of the Lord and they want to reciprocate in a different way. For example, there are some devotees who want to treat Krishna as a friend, so Krishna becomes a friend to them. There are some devotees who want to serve Krishna as a servant, so Krishna becomes their master. Similarly, there are some devotees who want to serve Krishna as a lover, so Krishna becomes their lover. There are some devotees who want to become the wife of Krishna, so Krishna becomes their husband. So there is a one shlok in Puranas that says that Mad Bhakta Vinodartham Karomi Vividha Kriya. In order to give pleasure to my devotees, I perform various activities. So all the activities, all the leelas that Lord performs is for the pleasure of his devotees. Mad Bhakta Vinodartham. Although the Lord is Atmaram and Aptakam, still when some devotee wants to feed milk to Krishna, then Krishna becomes Stanyakam. From Aptakam, he becomes Stanyakam. And he wants to drink milk of Mother Yashoda. Although he is devoid of any other vikar, but he becomes angry when Mother Yashoda leaves him to take care of the Padmagandha milk. Although he is the master of the entire cosmic manifestation, the fear personified also fears from him. Yad bibheti swayam bhayam. Still, when he sees the stick in the hands of Mother Yashoda, he becomes fearful. For the pleasure of his devotees. Although he binds everyone in the fruits of the karmic desires, by the ropes of the karmic desires, but he himself gets bound by the ropes of Mother Yashoda, ropes of love. So this is for the pleasure of his devotees. He is the master of the entire cosmic manifestation. He is called Sarva Loka Maheshwar. In Gita he is called as Sarva Loka Maheshwar. But that very Lord, he steals butter in the house of the gopis. He becomes Makhan Chor. So this is all these things, all these pastimes are for the pleasure of his devotees. Just now before this, we saw that how he is running from the battlefield. So no matter what he does, he becomes celebrated among the devotees. He became Ranchor. So this, why was this? This was for the pleasure of his devotees. So he wanted to attend to the letter of Rukmini. And we see in Mrit Bhakshan Leela also that that Lord who is called as the absolute truth, he is called as Satyam Param Dhimahi. In the beginning of the Bhagavatam, he is called Satya. When Brahmaji is praying, he is saying Satya Vratam Satya Param Tri Satyam Satyasya Satyam Rita Satya Netram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapanna. He is called as Satyatmak. His very embodiment is made up of truth. He is called as absolute truth, but that absolute truth he speaks lies. Naham bhakshitva anamba sarve mithya vishanshina. I have not eaten dirt. Although he has eaten dirt, he is saying I have not eaten dirt. So all these things are for the pleasure of his devotees. So we should understand that the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa are not like ordinary people in this world. They are different. They are transcendental. They are pure. Here we are seeing the marriage of Kṛṣṇa with Rukmini. So Rukmini is the eternal Shakti of the Lord. And here the marriage of Kṛṣṇa and Rukmini is just like the meeting of Shakti and Shaktiman. They are transcendently pure. In this world we see that there is love. People say love at first sight. But then there is divorce at first fight. Many times people love each other, but most of those love stories don't end in marriage also. Even if there is marriage, then most of the time there is divorce. And even if there is no divorce, for how long people live together? 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, that's all, right? So it is explained in Bhagavatam. Yathā prayanti samyanti śroto vegena valuka sayujyante viyujyante yathā kalena dehina. Just like we see in a river, some sticks, small sticks, some leaves, some dust particles, they come together for some time. They stay there for some time and then they are separated, never to meet again. Similarly, we see in the family, some souls come together, some husband's soul, some wife's soul, some son's soul, some daughter's soul. So they remain for some time and again they are separated. But the meeting of the Lord with the associates is not like that. It is transcendental, it is pure. And that is the real relationship. It is never separated by time. That is the real romance. And hearing about that romance, one gets purified. So that is the difference. And just like we see in the episode of, in the pastime of Lord Ram meeting Sita. So Ram and Lakshman along with Vishwamitra Muni went to Mithila. And there Ram and Lakshman on the order of their Guru Vishwamitra went to pluck some flowers from the garden. And in the same garden, Mother Sita also came along with her friends. And they were laughing, joking and plucking the flowers. And all of a sudden, Lord Ram happened to see Sita for the first time in the pastime. They are eternal associates, but they saw for the first time. Lord Ram saw for the first time. And the very next moment, Sita also saw Lord Ram. And for the first time, their eyes meet. And Sita is stunned. Who is this man? As if she don't know only. So that is the beauty of the pastimes. The Yoga Maya enacts in such a way that Lord and the associate, they forget. And for the first time, Mother Sita is seeing Lord Ram. She is stunned. Who is this man? Meanwhile, the Sakhis, they are asking Sita, where are you looking? So she becomes shy and withdraw her vision from Lord Ram. But in the heart of heart, the very beautiful form of Lord Ram is engraved in her heart. Similarly, Lord Ram is also stunned and the beautiful face of Mother Sita is engraved in his heart. And next day when the Swayamvar ceremony is there and Mother Sita comes with a big garland, then among all the kings, those who are sitting there, she is noticing, where is that man whom I saw yesterday? And sure enough, amongst all those kings, she saw Lord Ram. And in the heart of the heart, she is praying that let no one else break the bow except this, this man. So this is the meeting of Shakti and Shaktiman. And such pastimes are very dear to the devotees of the Lord. Because it is just like you see in the next, in this 10th canto only, in the Kurukshetra, when there was Surya Grahan, all the wives of Krishna came there. And Draupadi also came along with Pandavas. And there is a meeting described between all the wives and Draupadi. And Draupadi is asking that how all of you came in contact with Krishna, how Krishna married you. And then all of the queens are telling in great relish how Krishna accepted them as his wife. So it is just like when we want to hear that how the other devotees came to Krishna consciousness. Correct, right? Hare Krishna TV have made an entire show like that, how I came to Krishna consciousness. And so people want to know that how the other devotees came to Krishna consciousness. So these are the eternal associates of the Lord who are coming back to the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is why these pastimes are very dear to the devotees of the Lord. It says, Bhagavan api Govinda upayeme kuridvaha vedarbhim bhishmak sutam shriyo matram swayamvare. The word that is used is Shriyah Matram. Rukmini is described as Shriyah Matra. Matra means expansion. She is an expansion of Shri, Radharani, Lakshmi. There is a slok in Padma Puran, in the Kartik Mahatmya, that says, Keshore Gopakanyasta Yauvane Rajkanyaka. In the Kishore Avastha, the Gopakanyas became Rajkanyas in the Yauvan, in the youth. Means the gopis are only the queens of Dwarka. That says like that. So Rupa Goswami describes very nicely in Lalit Madhav. So he describes the entire pastime, how the gopis became the queens. So there it describes that actually Himalaya was very proud to have Lord Shiva as his Jamata, son-in-law. And Vindhyachal, who was also who was a contemporary mountain, he became envious of Himalaya. So he is very competitive in spirit. Even before, earlier we heard that he wanted to rise higher than Meru mountain also. But Kumbhayoni, Agastya Muni had to somehow pacify him, and he had to check him. So he started worshipping Lord Brahma to get a son-in-law who is better than that of Himalaya. So Lord Brahma came and gave him a boon, that you will have 2 daughters, and the person who will marry them will become the emperor of the entire world. And not only that, he will defeat Lord Shiva, Mahadev, in the battle. Like that. So he got 2 daughters, Chandravali and Radharani. So they came as the daughter of Vindhyachal. Meanwhile, in the Braj, after Krishna's appearance, Vasudeva ji brought the daughter of Yashoda back to Kamsa's prison. And that small daughter, when Kamsa tried to kill her, that daughter flew in the sky and she became into 8-handed form, Ashtabhuji Devi. So her name was Eknansha. And she told, why are you unnecessarily killing the children? Actually, your killer has already taken birth. And she also told that along with their killer, 8 Mahashaktis have taken birth. This is described in Lalit Madhav. And then the 8 Mahashaktis have taken birth. And whoever marries these 8 Mahashaktis, he will become the emperor of the entire world. And he will even defeat Lord Shiva in battle. Out of that, these two, the 2, Radha and Chandravali, they are very famous and they will be very fortunate like that. So Kamsa immediately dispatched Putana for killing the male children and for abducting the female children. So Putana abducted all the 8 baby girls from different places. She also abducted the 2 daughters of Vindhyachal. So Vindhyachal was surprised what is happening, and he engaged his Purohit. So this Purohit started casting some spells on Putana. So Putana could not move further. And all the 8 baby children, they started falling from her hands. So Chandravali fell in a river in Vidarbha, and there the Kundirpur, in the Raj of Kundirpur, Raja Bhishmak took her under his care, and she became celebrated as Rukmini, like that. And later on it is mentioned that on the order of Eknansha, Jamvant, who is residing in the caves of the Himalayas in Vindhyachal, brought her back from Kundinpur secretly to Braj. And there she was celebrated as Chandravali, as a Duhitri of Kerala. And later she was married to Govardhan Mal. And Radharani, she fell into the Braj. And in the Braj, Purnamasi Devi picked her up and she gave her to Mukhra, who is the Sas, mother-in-law of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. And similarly, other girls also fell in different places. Now, Vishakha is the Suriputri, daughter of Sun, who is Kalindi herself. She has incarnated as Vishakha, on the order of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma told all the demigods that Vasudeve grihe sakshat bhagavan purusha para janishyati tat priyartham sambhavantu surastriya. In the house of Vasudev, Lord Kṛṣṇa will take birth. And for his pleasure, all the ladies of demigods should also take birth. So on his order, the Suriputri Kalindi, she took birth as Vishakha. So all the other 5 girls, this Lalita and Padma, Shabya and Shamla and Bhadra, they also fell in different places in Vraj, and Purnamasi gave them to different gopis in Vrindavan, like that. So this is how all these 8 Sakhis, they came to Vrindavan. Now we may get a question that we have heard that Radha and Chandravali, they are the legitimate daughters of Vrishabhanu and Chandrabhanu. So how we are saying that they were born of Vindhyachal? So yes, earlier they were in the wombs of the wives of Vrishabhanu and Chandrabhanu, but by the arrangement of Yogamaya, they were transferred from their wombs to the womb of the wife of Vindhyachal, when Brahmaji gave this womb. Just like Lord Balram was transferred from the womb of Devaki to Rohini. So in the Vraj, this Chandravali, she was married to Govardhan Mal. Later on, when Krishna went to Mathura from Vrindavan, all the gopis, they were feeling immense separation from Krishna. In that immense separation, they were not knowing what to do. So Radharani and Vishakha once decided that they will give up their lives. So as an expansion, not the original one, as an expansion, Radharani went to the Yamuna to give up her life along with Vishakha. And first she offered the jewel, Samantak jewel, which she was having to Yamuna. So this jewel she got from Krishna himself. So Krishna killed the Shankh-chuda and gave this jewel to Balramji. And Balramji gave it to Radharani through Madhumangal. So she received this Samantak jewel, and she first offered that jewel into the water, and then along with Vishakha she jumped into the water. Now Vishakha is Suriputri. So Vishakha Devi was taken under the care by Lord Surya himself, Lord Sun. And Radharani was also taken along with that. And later on, when Satyajit prayed to Lord Sun, Lord Surya, Surya offered the Samantak jal along with Radharani, with the name Satyabhama. So this is how Satyabhama reached to Satyajit. So this was an expansion. Chandravali, and so you may have heard that Krishna have killed Chadur and Shal. So that Shal wrestler whom Krishna has killed in the wrestling arena of Kamsa, he is only the Govardhan Mal, the husband of Chandravali. And Uddhavji mentions that in that Lalit Matho that I wanted to bring Chandravali from Braj to Dwarka, but somehow Shishupal came to know about this, and he informed Rukmi. And when Rukmi came to know that his sister is in Braj, so she brought back Chandravali from Braj to Kundinpur. So she became Rukmini. So Rukmini is Chandravali and Radharani is Satyabhama. So Vishakha Devi is with Suryadev, and Suryadev built a home for her in the waters of Yamuna. And later Krishna married her. Then Lalita, once she saw a cloud, a rain cloud, monsoon rain cloud, and she climbed on the top of Govardhan mistaking that cloud to be Krishna. And when she climbed up on the top, she came to know that actually this is not Krishna. So in immense separation from Krishna, she jumped off from Govardhan. This is also an expansion of Lalita Devi. She jumped from Govardhan. And there Jamvant, on the order of Lord Surya, he caught Lalita in between and took her to his home and cared her as his daughter. So he became Jamvati. So other four, Padma, Shabya, Shyamla and Bhadra. So their fathers, who are the kings, they were informed by Narad Muni that your daughters were saved from Putana and now are in Braj. So they went to Braj and brought back their daughters to their individual kingdom. So Padma is Nagnajiti, the daughter of Nagnajit. And Shabya is Mitra Vrinda, the daughter of Shabyaraj. Similarly, Shyamla is Madri, the daughter of Madhra Desh. And Bhadra is Lakshmana, the daughter of Kekai Naresh. So this is how Keshore Gopakanyasta Yovane Rajakanyaka. The gopis who are in Vrindavan, they are only the princess of Dwaraka. So he explained in Lalit Madhav by Rup Goswami. So I have one slide little bit. So in that it summarized. Maybe we can. Yeah, so here you can see the flow because it is little complex. From Chandrabhanu's wife to Vindhyavali's wife, and they are carried by Putana. They are carried by Putana to Kundinpur, and from there by Jamvant. So you can see the flow. Now we have less time, so we'll go to Shlok. 19th Shlok. Yeah. So now Śukadeva Gosvāmī has finished this entire Rukmini Mangalam in just 2 shlokas. And Parikshit Maharaj wants to hear more in detail. He has already heard this pastime, but now he wants to hear it in detail. So 90th shlok he says, Bhagavan śrotum icchāmi kṛṣṇasyāmita-tejasaḥ yathā māgadha-śālvādīn jitvā kanyām upāharat. My Lord, I wish to hear about the immeasurably powerful Lord Kṛṣṇa took away his bride while defeating such kings as Māgadha and Sālva. We should not think that Śrī Kṛṣṇa was actually afraid of Jarāsandha. In the very next chapter, we will find that Śrī Kṛṣṇa easily defeats Jarāsandha and his soldiers. Thus, we should never doubt the supreme prowess of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So, Parikshit Maharaj describes his eagerness to hear about the Krishna Katha. He wants to hear in detail. So, he has already heard in short that how Krishna married Rukmini by Rakshasa Vivah. In the initial slok, before this slok, he says that I have already heard, iti śrotum, that Rakshasena vidhanema bhagavan upayame. Bhagavan has already married, had married the beautiful Rukmini by Rakshasa Vidhi. I have already heard it, but I heard it in short. Now I want to hear it in detail. Now you see here the word is used amita-tejasaḥ, one who has a lot of power. Amita-tejasaḥ means one who is immeasurably powerful. So Lord has a lot of potency. By his mere desire he can kill all the demons. But in order to enact pastime, he is going and abducting Rukmini. So amita-tejasaḥ. So here Parikshit Maharaj is asking Śukadeva Gosvāmī to delineate this pastime in detail. Now you see just 2 days are left for Parikshit Maharaj to die, and he wants to hear about somebody's marriage. Now if you just think carefully, this is not something a dying man should be eager to hear about. But this is Lord's pastime. This is the pastime of Krishna. So it is different, it is pure and transcendental. It purifies. So next, so he says why he wants to hear. So he tells about the beauty of Krishna's pastime. What is so special about the pastimes of Krishna? So 20th slok. Brahman Krishna Katha Punya Madhver Lokamalapaha Konu Tripyet Shrinvanaha Shrutagyo Nityanutana. He said, O Brahman, this Kṛṣṇa Katha is telling 4 different qualities of Kṛṣṇa Katha. This Kṛṣṇa Katha is Punya, it is Madhvi, it is Lokamalapaha, and it is Nitya Nutana. Who is that intelligent person who can give up hearing this Kṛṣṇa Katha? So he is telling 4 characteristics. And one is Punya, the Kṛṣṇa Katha is Punya, and he addresses Śukadeva Gosvāmī as Brahman. Brahman means Sarvagya, who knows everything. Who is a devotee of the Lord, he is called Brahman. Very eminent devotee, he is called Brahman. And this Brahman is coming from the word Brahma, one who has similar characteristics to that of the Lord. He is called Brahman. So he is called Sarvagya. Śukadeva Gosvāmī is called as Sarvagya. And then he is saying that Kṛṣṇa Katha is Punya. Punya means purifying. So you see the matters of this world, they are under the enactions of Mahamaya. They are within the 3 modes. But the characteristics, the pastimes, the form they of Kṛṣṇa, the activities of Kṛṣṇa, they are enacted by Yoga Maya. So if you hear the things of this world, the news of this world, it is simply contaminating. And especially if you hear the pastime of some man and woman of this world, it's especially contaminating. But here, if the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa, they are purifying. Especially the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa with the gopis. Kṛṣṇa here as marrying Rukmini, they are especially purifying. There is one shlok at the end of Ras Panchadhyaya, which says, Vikriditam Rajavado Bhiridam Cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito Nushunayadat Varnayedya Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamam Hidrogamashvapahinotya Chirena Dhiraha. Any dhir, any sober person, if he hears the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa with the gopis, then what happens? Achirat, very quickly he will get rid of the disease of the heart, that is lust. It is mentioned there. So here, but the condition that is applied there is Shraddhanvito Nushudayad Athavarnedya. One should be equipped with Shraddha, Shraddhanvitaha. One should have faith in the pastimes of the Lord. One should understand that these pastimes are not ordinary. They are transcendental, they are pure, and one who hears them, he also becomes pure. So one who hears these such pastimes, he will get parabhakti unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On account of that parabhakti, the disease of the heart and the calm, the lust, that also gets achired. Very quickly it gets destroyed. So Kṛṣṇa Katha is Punya. Then it is Lok Mal Apaha. Lok Mal Apaha. Mal means the dirt. The dirt that is there in the heart, that gets immediately destroyed when one hears Kṛṣṇa Katha. Shrīṇvatāṃ sukatha Kṛṣṇa punya shravan kirtana hridantasto hi abhidrani vidhunoti suhritsadam. So the effect of Kṛṣṇa Katha is that Lord is sitting within the heart. When he is seeing that a devotee is very interested in hearing Kṛṣṇa Katha, then immediately he cleanses all that is troublesome to the heart. That is called Lokamalapaha. Mal. Mal means the dirt that is there in the heart. Mal also means the karma bandhan. Lord immediately cuts the karma bandhan. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, one of the characteristics of Uttama Bhakti is that is described as Kleshagni. Their Klesh is described as Papam, Tad Bijam, Avidya Cheti. So all these things, these 3 things, Pap means sins, the Avidya, and before that Bijam. Bij means the Vasana, the desire to do any activities. Before we actually do an activity, there is a desire that arises in the heart, that is called as Bij, Vasana, to do any activity. It can be pure or it can be impure. For example, you are going by the side of a street and you are seeing some old man who is trying to cross, some blind man who is trying to cross the street. He is not able to cross. So you help him. But before you help him, a desire comes that I should help him. That is called as Vasana. This is pure Vasana. Similarly, there can be impure Vasana also. A person who has not smoked a cigarette any time in his life, but he happens to travel in a train. And in a train, he is amongst chained smokers. So first desire comes in his heart that how does it taste? Let me also try once. So that desire is called Vasana. So this is called Bij. Bij is Vasana, desire to do an activity. And the root cause of all of this is Avidya, ignorance. That I am this body and everything that is related to this body is mine. So all these 3 things, Pap, Avidya and beach, everything gets destroyed. This is called as mal. When one hears Krishna Katha, this is the glory of Krishna Katha. There is one shlok in 4th canto. There the prachetas, they are praying to Lord Vishnu, that when one hears Krishna Katha, then at least for the time being, the envy of the heart gets destroyed. At least for the time being. Yat tredyante kathamrishta trishnaya prashamo yatā nirvairam yatra bhuteshu nodvego yatra kṛṣṇa. So wherever the beautiful transcendental topics of the Lord are being sung, 3 things happen. Trishnaya prashamo yatā. The trishna, material hankerings, that prashama, it gets destroyed. Then nirvairo yatra bhuteshu. All the people, they become non-envious of each other, at least for the time being. Because there is no sense of competition when one hears Krishna Katha. In this world there is competition. Imagine, somebody lifts up 100 kilogram, some heavyweight champion. Another one wants to lift 110 kilogram. But when they hear that Krishna lifts Govardhan, then there is no match. So at least for the time being, the envy goes away. Nobody can compete only. And no dvego yatra kṛṣṇa. The anxiety, the fear of the future, that also goes away. So this is the glory of Krishna Katha. And so it destroys whatever is troublesome to the heart. So it is disease for the material existence. It is the disease for samsriti. It is the medicine for the material disease. Now whenever we see that we have medicines, they are generally bitter. But this medicine is madhvi. It is very sweet. So this madhvi, it comes from madhu. Madhu means honey. So honey is very sweet. And madhu also means intoxicant. So this Krishna Katha is sweet and it is intoxicating. Everything that is related to Krishna is sweet. There is in Chaitan Chaitamrit, one shlok of Vidagdha Madhava is described by Rupa Gosvāmī. So there it is mentioned, Tunde Tandavini Ratim Vitanute Tundavali Labdhaye Karna Kroda Kadambini Gatayate Karna Buddhibhya Spriham Cheta Prangana Sangini Vijayate Sarvendriyanam Kritim No Jane Janita Kyadbhiramritai Krishneti Varnadvai. One devotee is described, no jane janita kyadbhiramritai krishneti varnadvai. I don't know, after churning how many milk oceans, how many oceans of nectar, these 2 syllables Krishna have been produced. So what is so special about these 2 syllables Krishna? Tunde tandavini ratim vitanute tundavali labdhaye. When these 2 syllables dance on my tongue, then I desired many, many tongues. When these 2 syllables enter into my ears, then I desire millions of ears. And when these 2 syllables Krishna, through ears, they enter into the courtyard of my heart and dance in the courtyard of my heart, then they totally capture my mind and all my senses become numb. So this is the beauty of everything, Krishna Katha, Krishna Naam. But we may feel that I am not feeling like this. Whenever I am hearing Krishna Katha, then I am thinking why the same things are being repeated again and again. Again and again. I have heard it so many times. So mind goes off. And sometimes we also go off. So there is arati. Arati means non-interest in hearing Krishna Katha. So this arati also goes when we go on hearing Krishna Katha. Parikshit Maharaj describes it in 10th canto 7th chapter. Yat shrunvato payati aratir vitrishna sattvam jashuddhyati achirena pumsa bhaktim haro tad purushe cha sakhyam tadevaharam vadamanyase chet. Yat shrunvataha, when one hears Krishna Katha, then arati. Arati means non-interest in hearing Krishna Katha. That also goes away. And arati. And vitrishna, that also goes away. Trishna means hankering. So there is Vishesh Trishna, there is material hankering. People want something. So that hankering goes away when one hears Krishna Katha. Because the Krishna Katha is totally satisfies the soul. It is the food for the soul. So long we are not connected to Krishna, that long only we are dissatisfied in life. Brahmaji says like that. Tavad raga deyastena, tavad kara griham griham, tavad mohangri nigido, yavat Krishna tejana. Yavat Krishna tejana. So long the devotee, a person does not become yours, that long only ragadaya stenaha, the ragadi. Rag means attachment, material attachment. They are stena, they are like thieves. Tavat kara griham griham. That long only the home of a person is like a prison house. And mohongri nigdo, the attachment, material attachment, especially for the family, they are like shackles. So long a person doesn't become yours. So when one starts hearing and relishing Krishna Katha, then immediately the material hankerings, they go away with Krishna. Sattam cha shuddhyati achinena pumsa, and very quickly the heart of a devotee that gets cleansed. And bhaktim haro, one gets bhakti for Lord Hari. And tat purushe cha sakhyam, one develops friendship for the devotees of the Lord. So this is the effect of hearing Krishna Katha. So it is Madhavi. So one is sweet. Krishna Katha is sweet. Another effect is that Krishna Katha is intoxicating. Mahabhava Sarupa Vrishabhan Nandini herself describes in the 10th canto in the Brahmar Geet. Yadanu charita leela karna piyusha viprat sakridadana vidhuta dvandva dharma vinashta sapadi griha kutumbam dīnamutsrejya dīna bhavaiha vihanga bhikshucharyam charanti. The Radharani is describing that this Krishna Katha is like nectar for the ears. But the point is that if one just gets few drops of that nectar, and that too only once, his dualities are destroyed. And then he becomes wretched, he himself becomes wretched and leaves his family also wretched. Why? Just like one takes intoxicant, it destroys the entire family. Many families have been destroyed by intoxications. Similarly, this intoxicating Krishna Katha destroys the families. So somebody may say that one or two people may have become victim of this. She says, no, Bahava, many people have become attracted to this Krishna Katha and intoxicated by that Katha. They have left their families, they have left their careers, and like beggars they are roaming in Vrindavan. Bahava yevi charanta. Like that. So it is intoxicating, and it is nitya nutana. It is always ever fresh. The topics about Krishna is always fresh. The topics of this world, they are always old. People say news, new S, but there is nothing new in that news. Morning we get the newspaper, when people they are waiting so much, but very next day, what is the destination of that newspaper? Rubbish, dustbin. We have morning news, then we have midday news, then we have evening news. What does it mean? By the time it becomes evening, the morning news becomes stale, becomes basi. But the topics about Krishna, they are ever fresh. You see, we have the same Srimad Bhagavatam. Devotees are reading it for thousands of years. We have the same Srimad Bhagavatam, same Bhagavad Gita, same holy name devotees are chanting for so long. So getting newer and newer taste. So it is nitya nutana. So who will get satisfied after hearing this Krishna Katha? So in the next two slokas, we start speaking about the pastimes. Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Śrī Badarāyani Ruvacha Rājāsīd Bhīshmako Nama Vidarbhādipatir Mahan Tasya Pancha Bhavan Putra Kanyāika cha Varanana Rukmagrajo Rukmaratho Rukmabahur-anantaraha Rukmakesho Rukmamali Rukminyesha Svasasati. So he is telling that there was a king whose name was Bhishmaka. Vidarbha Adhipatir Mahan. He was the king of Vidarbha. And he was Mahan, very great king. And he had 5 sons and a beautiful daughter, Varanana. Varanana. Anand means mouth, face. So she was having a beautiful face. So by the face, the entire beauty is described. Out of the names are described in 22nd verse. Rukmi Agrajaha. The eldest son was Rukmi. Then there was Rukmarat, Rukmabahu, Rukmakesh, Rukmamali. And Swasasati. they had a sister who was named Rukmini. So in each of the name there is Rukma. Ruk means golden. So all of them were golden in complexion. So Rukma Shabd is there. And Rukmini, the word that is used is Sati. Rukmini is Sati. Sati means one who has accepted Sat, Param Vaishnavi, who has accepted Sat, form, the form of the Supreme Lord in her life. So it's called as Sati. And Sati also means she was very chaste. From her childhood, she never thought of any person except Krishna, even in dream. So she is called as Sati. And then Rukmi. So Rukmi became very envious of Krishna. This was because of bad association that he had with Shishupal and Jarāsandha. So because of that bad association, he thought that the best match for Rukmini is Shishupal. Once he asked Jarāsandha, I want to get my sister married. Whom do you think is the best person on this entire planet? So Jarāsandha said, Shishupal. So what is the quality of Shishupal? He was totally envious of Krishna. This is the best qualification he had. From his childhood, he was envious of Krishna. This was because of the curse of the Kumaras. So he tried. So you see, bad association. The effect of bad association is that it totally destroys our Shraddha, our faith in Bhakti. We also hear about Dvid. Dvid was an associate of Lord Ram. He was one of the monkey general. Dvid Mayand Neenal Angad Gad Bhagtas. So in that list of the general, his name comes first, Dvid. So this Dvid Vanar, he was very fond of Lord Ram, but he was envious of Lakshman. So in the next life, because of association of the Rakshasas actually. So in the next incarnation, Lord Balaram killed him, delivered him, Dvid. So when one comes in bad association, the faith in Bhakti gets destroyed. So one should be very careful of the bad association. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes the characteristic of a Vaishnava, asang sang chhadi, ei Vaishnava achar. And Stri Sangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhakta. He says that the character of a Vaishnava is that he asat sang chhadi. He leaves the asat sang, bad association. Now one may ask, what is asat sang? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Stri Sangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhakta. The first number is Stri Sangi. Stri Sangi means one who is attached to the opposite gender. And second person is Krishna Abhakta, one who is not a devotee of Krishna. So one should be very careful of the bad association. Bad association just doesn't mean that person, any circumstance, anything or any literature that kills our faith in Krishna, in Bhakti, that is called bad association. For example, mobile, that is also bad association. The entire garbage of the entire world is just available at your fingertips. So we should be very careful. It sucks our time, our enthusiasm for Bhakti. Then we just read this one verse also. Sopashrutya mukundasya rupavirya gunashriya grihagate giyamana tam mene sadrisham patim. So when Rukmini heard about the Rupa, Virya, Guna and Shri of Lord Mukunda. So Lord is called as Mukunda. So Mukunda means Mumcha Kumcha Dadati to Mukunda, one who gives mukti, one who gives the worldly pleasures also. He is called as Mukunda. Or in whose mukh, in whose mouth the teeth are decorated like Kundapanti. Kundapanti means row of jasmine buds. So he is also called as Mukunda. So the fame of the Lord was spread far and wide, and there were big preachers like Narad Muni, and there were many other Gandharvas also who used to sing the glories of the Lord. And any lila that Lord performed, immediately they used to spread far and wide. So fame of Krishna was spread far and wide. And such fame was being sung in the court of Maharaj Bhishmak, and even in the Antapur of Maharaj Bhishmak. So that is why Rukmini was able to hear the Rupa, Virya, Guna and Shri. Rup means the beauty of the Lord. How the Lord is so beautiful. Virya, the prowess of the Lord. The Parakram, prowess. How Lord defeated so many demons. How when he was just 6 days old, he killed Putana. How he killed Vrindavan. How he delivered so many demons. How he killed Kulya Pid. Effortlessly he killed Kamsa, who was so powerful. So this was spread far and wide. And the qualities of the Lord, how much he is merciful, how he is charitable. And Śrī means the opulences. So the riches of the Dwarka, they were known to everyone. So she heard about all this. From whom she heard? Griha agatai giyamana. There are many guests who were coming to their home. And many saints were coming, many sages were coming, sadhus were coming. And they used to sing the glories of Krishna. And by just hearing those glories, tam sadrashim patim mene. She accepted Krishna as an appropriate husband. So this is called Purvarag. Purvarag means when the Shakti and Shaktiman, they have not met in the past time, they have not met, and when they hear about the qualities of each other, about the form of each other, about the pastimes of each other, then they become attracted. Or they may see picture of each other and they may get attracted. Or in the case of Krishna, when the gopis hear the flute for the first time, or when they see the monsoon cloud, they immediately remember Krishna. This is called as Purvarag. This Purvarag. So, you just end in 1 minute. There is one shlok in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There the Purvarag is described. Ekasya shrutameva lumpatimatim krishneti namaksharam sandronmada paramparam upanayat anyasya vanshikalaha esha snigdha ghanadviter manasime lagna sakrit vikshanat kashtam dik purushatre ratirabhut manye mriti shreyashi. There Radharani is saying that I am so unfortunate that I got attracted to three men. Better than this, I consider that I should die. So how you got attracted to 3 people? So she said, one person is there whose name I heard, Kṛṣṇa. And when I heard that name, it totally captured my mind. There's another person whose flute song I heard. And as soon as I heard the flute song, I became immensely mad. And now I am seeing the picture of this third person, and this monsoon rain cloud-like features. And by seeing his picture, I am getting attracted to him also. So I am so unfortunate, I am getting attracted to three men. Better than this is that I should die. Manye mriti shreyashi. So this is called Purvarag. Just by hearing the qualities of the Lord, the devotees get attracted. And so this is the process, actually, sadhana process. Rukmini has not seen Krishna. Just by hearing the pastimes, hearing the qualities of Krishna, she got attracted towards Krishna. Similarly, we as the devotees have also not seen Krishna. Correct, right? But we get to hear about Krishna. So the process is, by hearing we develop attraction for Krishna. So we'll end up here only. Already we are over time. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Hare.
I have a question. So hearing the pastimes of Krishna and the Bhagavatam are very, very important. So what kind of study schedule do you follow to help you to retain understanding or, your attraction for hearing about Krishna?
So, personally, so I try to hear from my spiritual master and verses and all that. Like if we hear regularly and with attention, it sings slowly. So study schedule means I don't understand what exactly.
No, that's fine. That's good. No, I guess it takes mental concentration and scheduling or regulating your mind in a disciplinary way to be able to hear in a timely way. That you have to. Okay, I'm going to hear it this time, and I'm going to hear it that time, and otherwise there'll be no time for hearing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so devotees should take this. Prabhuji is telling very important thing that all of us should take out time for hearing and for reading, because this is our life. Our bhakti starts with shravanam and kirtanam. Yes, devotees are very busy in the services, but you should take out some time, as Prabhuji is telling, in the morning or whatever the time. And I heard Radheshyam Prabhu, he was telling that he gets up early at 2 o'clock and reads in the morning, because when devotees have lot of services, then the daytime they are busy in the services. So in the morning time he reads. But generally I don't have so much services, so I read generally. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That was an amazing class. Let's give him a big clap for that class. Sanskritam. So, Prabhu, my question is, at the beginning of the talk, you mentioned that the gopis, they expanded by expansion. They also became the queens of Dwarka. So, to a lay person like myself, it appears that the gopis' lamentation in Vrindavan was somewhat of a show. Maybe they were not feeling real separation because they were secretly enjoying Krishna's association in Dwarka by expansion. I wonder if you could explain this duplicitous or apparent duplicitous behavior of the gopis here.
Yeah, so this is arrangement by Yoga Maya actually. And when the Prakash form of the gopis went to the Dwarka as queens of Krishna, so that Yoga Maya makes them forget. Just like we hear about Krishna also, it is said that Vrindavan parityaja padam ekam na gacchati. So one form of Krishna is there in Vrindavan, but then Krishna is there in Mathura. He goes to Dwarka, and there he is lamenting about gopis. So how do we explain that? Correct. Similarly, we can explain the same thing, that when the gopis went to Dwarka as the queens, they were covered by Yoga Maya. And otherwise, you see here, if Rukmini is the same Chandravali, why it is said that just by hearing she developed attraction? Already she has seen, right? This is the work of Yoga Maya. She covers the associates. She even covers the Lord so that they forget. And then there is an expansion of rasa. Or even that, even before that, we can just think that Lord Kṛṣṇa and all the associates, like say Radharani, she is there in the spiritual world. They know each other. But when they come here, as a matter of pastime, they forget this. How does it happen? This is work of Yoga Maya. Right. 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 Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhaktavrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Krishna. Yeah.